So here we're going to detail our spray foam teams loading up our barrels of product. So you can go ahead and bring that up here. So big thing when we're loading these are really heavy. 500 pounds or better, especially when they're full like this. So just need to be careful, make sure we're not pinching our toes or anything as we roll these off. Make sure that we've got gloves on. So good communication between the loader and the unloader here. He's going to wrestle the barrel off. Just being careful not to take too much of that weight on himself. Here, being careful not to pinch his toes or his fingers. Roll it into place over here. And as you can see in the foam rigs, we've got a lot of stuff going on here. So really want to be cognizant of our load securement once we get everything into place. And so from here, we're going to take the strap, run it across both of these barrels, make sure it's hooked up nice and tight so nothing's going anywhere while we're traveling down the road. Making sure that their Perry scaffolds and their ladders are stood up right against the wall here, and then secured by another ratchet strap here so that again nothing's moving around as we're going down the road. Okay, so now we're going to detail some of the points of our cementitious underlayment gypsum pour teams load securement. So they're going to be doing some different things here, taking a lot of product like this on pallets, as well as hauling some equipment with them as well to help them do their jobs. Before you throw any strap, obviously we want to make sure that there's nobody on the other side. And just give an over call so that anybody that might be walking around the truck can hear that. Over. Good job. So you do this for both of these. Obviously, anytime we've got palleted material on here, we want to try to get 2 straps over each half of the pallet, just to ensure that it's nice and secure as we're going down the road. All right, so similar to our distribution teams, as soon as he gets these straps kind of taut, we're going to go ahead and crank them down with our breaker bar here. Make sure they're nice and tight. Obviously don't want to get them too tight and compromise the bags of product, but need to make sure that we're very secure to be taking it down the highway. Yep, so obviously you'll notice as he gets them tight here, he's going to double check the tightness of them with his fingers, just making sure that it's going to give him a little bit of resistance. See down here there's some steel plate. Want to make sure that the equipment's going to sit directly over these. That way it's got weight distribution on the trailer, so it makes it easier to pull it down the road. We're going to go ahead and show you here how we hook up the bindings here with our chains. There's going to be one of these at every corner of the machine. So you'll notice we've got one here and then 2 at the front. These bindings are really common in any sort of trucking endeavor, but you'll notice here he's going to hook the hooks into the links, and then it's pretty simple. We'll just kind of crank this binding bar, and it's going to draw those pins inward and keep everything nice and tight as we're moving it down the road. All right, so lots of cranking on that one, obviously, but we're making sure it's nice and tight here as soon as we're done, and this cat's not going anywhere as we're going down the road. So. All right, so one important piece of advice here in both of our blow-in trucks and our batting trucks. This material, these trucks are laid out in a similar way, so we're going to combine these together. Anytime we're bringing ladders or other equipment with us, we want to make sure that we get it all folded up nicely and stored in a place here. We got a nice little cubby here with the machine to be able to keep it from tipping back and forth as we're driving. One other thing that I will point out here in these trucks, the work that gets done in here is pretty dirty between loose bundles of insulation. And all the little pieces that get kicked out during the blow-in process. It's going to leave this floor pretty dirty. So in order to remove a lot of our tripping hazards, we want to make sure we get a good sweep and clean of these trucks each time they come back. And it definitely doesn't hurt to do it a little bit during the job as well, making sure that there's nothing out here that's going to trip anybody up. All right, so this truck's a little bit more cleared out than it usually is when it's on its way to a job. We do have a little bit of material here just to kind of show you what it looks like in a small portion. Our project manager here, Michael's going to show us. This is called a load lock, load bar. Got a few different names, but we utilize this kind of either at the front or the back of the material. This is going to create a faux wall of sorts that's going to keep the material from shifting back and forth as we're driving. So these are really important to not only make sure that we have working ones, but enough to hold the load in that we're carrying.